And hello, Pixar fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. And once again, bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new Disney Pixar film Hoppers. Now, Hoppers is a very interesting little film. I remember seeing the previews for it. I was like, this looks cute, fine. And you know, honestly, Pixar hasn't really been firing on all cylinders. You know what I mean? The stuff they've been doing, they're good films. It's just that sometimes I feel like their logic for certain films going to streaming makes no sense to me. Like Turning Red, fantastic film, and it just went into streaming. I was like, why? So I thought Hoppers was gonna be one of those. Nah, this is not gonna make money. This movie's gonna be streaming, and thank goodness it did not go to streaming because this movie's awesome. So, let me tell you the story about Hopper. So Hopper tells a story of a young girl who's a very animal lover. She loves animals since she was a kid. She just likes to see animals be free in the wild. And then one day she gets older. You know, her grandmother and her have like a real great bond. You know, they see the pond together where beavers would build a dam. And, you know, she's always like goes over to her grandmother's house and she sees, you know, the beavers building the dam. But until one day, you know, she loses her grandmother, and she kept the promise to her. She kept the promise that, you know, she'll keep an eye on the pond and make sure the pond's filled with creatures of all kinds, and, you know, frogs, beavers, you know, deers drinking water, all those, bears even, just to make sure they have their habitat and they keep it clean. Until one day, the mayor decides, you know what, it's time to change their city, which is Beaverton, I think it's called. So they decided to build a highway, and unfortunately, the highway that they're building, the bridge they're building, it is like the cylinders that hold it. I guess it's in the same area where the beaver dam is at, and he wants to cut it down and destroy it. So the girl decides, hey, listen, I need to stop him. I need to find a way to stop him. Unfortunately, everything she tries does not work. Now, jump a couple I guess years later, she's in college now. She finds out one of her professors is starting to build an invention that can help them understand animals in their habitat and have humans be able to communicate with them. She created basically hoppers in this case, or an English term, as Disney kind of wink at the camera when they kind of announced this. They build avatars. This movie's Avatar. I'm just letting you guys know this. Literally, because honestly, the technology is literally what Avatar was. You had Jake Sully go into the machine and he got plugged into an avatar, and then he became that avatar and he fell in love and revolutional and, you know, fight the bad guys, and, you know, there's that movie. Basically the same thing happens here. You have the girl, she goes into a beaver's head and becomes a beaver, and she becomes friends with the beavers and the other animals and revokes a revolution against humanity for stopping them, to try to stop them from destroying the dam and all the nature of the wild. So yeah, basically it's Avatar for Disney, for animation, excuse me. I like this movie. This movie's funny, it's charming, it's cute. Not to mention that I think Pixar has finally lost ideas in a weird way. Because this movie, I swear to you, this movie's literally Avatar. If you watch it, it's literally Avatar. And, you know, the hero girl, she's cool. You know, like I said before, she likes saving animals. She wants to protect them. And then when you see her go into this beaver, you know, robot thing, and then she tries to get involved with the other animals, she kind of feels, she gets more emotional with them and bonds with them more, and, you know, it becomes a struggle for her to not tell them the truth that, hey, I'm human, I'm not a real beaver, I'm just here to help you guys. She can't tell them that because, you know, they're animals. So, you know, she tries as much as she can, you know, to protect them and stuff. So I thought it was a very cute little movie, a lot of funny laugh moments, and it was a fun film, you know, honestly. And like I said before, Pixar hasn't been firing all cylinders since obviously the original Pixar movies like Up and all that stuff. Soul was good. I liked it so. Turning Red was great. I just wish it went to theaters because it would have been more better in the theater. But yeah, um, Hoppers, I really did enjoy it. The film was fun, cute moments. Although there were some things in here that I have to question. It's just small little details. You know, normally when you look at Pixar, their technology of how they do animation is always on par. It's always on par with Disney's animation, drone animation or just computer animation. Very different, but very similar as well. This one it felt like they tried to do, and I could be wrong. Just to me, the way I looked at it, it just felt like they kind of drawed it and then tried to put it into a printer to become a computer animated. Just a little bit. It didn't draw me out of the film at all or anything. I just felt like that was a very unique style that they were going for. Because normally the Pixar movies are very different from the Disney animated films, and you can clearly tell the color palette between the two of them are very different. Similar still, but very different as well. But to me, I just felt like if they would maybe try some new tactics. I'm not really sure, but it felt clean. It felt sharp. It felt different than normal for a Pixar movie. So I was just like, huh, interesting. So it's like not a negative, but just like something that kind of stuck out to my head thinking about it a couple of days. And I was just like, this is a very interesting, new approach to their animation. So, and I enjoyed it. So hopefully this tactic they can use for more. Maybe you guys go see it and don't notice it like I did, but that's cool. But to me, it just felt a little bit different. It felt sharper, but different at the same time, but clear. It just felt very different to me. So I really appreciate that. So I'm excited to see what Pixar's going to do next besides Toy Story. And I know they already announced Monsters Inc. 3, so I'm very excited for that. But, more original films like this one. This one was fun, awesome. Elio, I think it was Elio that came out, the one with the kid with the aliens. I liked that movie too, but still, honestly, it's like, they could have done better. Normally when you pull on the heartstrings of, Pixar does, it's like they understand us, like Finding Nemo was emotional in the beginning. Obviously the famous Up. This one kind of had a little bit of an emotion in the beginning because when you see the bond between the girl and her grandmother, I was like, yeah. And I was actually prepared. I was waiting I had my tissue in my hand just in case they were going to pull our strings again. It's like, here's the sad part, like, oh my gosh, she lost her grandmother. But, it just happened naturally, so I was like, oh, okay. So, but still, sad, but not as, like, gut-punching, like how Up was, or even Nemo was, so, still. Fun film, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad, Pixar's, coming back with some, good movies again, so hopefully Toy Story 5, what are we up to, 5? Yeah, 5 ends up being a banger too, so we shall see what happens. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Hoppers. Did you guys watch it? Saw the trailer? Like, yeah, that's Avatar. Whatever you guys thought about it, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.